All right. Hey, all right, Livy Roberts, MAPS coach. So we've been talking about, teams and businesses and many of us went through the Team One training this past Friday. And some of the things that have come up is, how do we communicate with our admin, with our other team members? What does the 15-minute huddle consist of and that type of thing? So I'm going to cover some of that today, and I hope this answers some of those questions and how do we make it really when we're meeting together, right? It's about like that teamwork together, everyone achieves more. How do we make sure that those are beneficial? It's not just a meeting to meet, and yet we also, if we're not careful, we have a group, not a team, right? So what does this look like? So daily AM huddles with team members, asking the question, what's the one thing you are going to get done today that's more important than anything else? Okay, so what does that look like? So let's say that your admin, like they're in a split role, they're going to give you this, I'm this role, this is my most important thing, this role, most important thing. So an example would be, so my primary responsibility to work is to work through all of the transactions today with a goal of getting a referral or a review from a client. Now, again, we talked about they had maybe split roles, that maybe two most important things. And then maybe they would say, and then my second role as the marketing director, I have 1,000 postcards going out today. Those are the most important pieces for me. Now everybody knows, right? They're reiterating, everybody's on the same page. Maybe you as the agent says, my primary goal today is to get one listing appointment today. Or maybe it's Thursday, and that's the day that you as the listing agent call everybody, all of your sellers. And so maybe that day it is, my primary goal today is to get through and touch everybody that is listed with us, and with the goal of 3 price reductions. Right now, that's your most important for the day, right? Now, at this point, you might choose for everyone or give the opportunity to share a win or a celebration, right? During this time. Now, this is the thing, only if it does not bust the time block. Okay, so it's 15 minutes. We start and end on time. And this also might be a time where the admin says, hey, I have 3 things that I need to talk with agent A about their files, and agent B, there's something I'd like to talk to you. What time today can we talk, do a call or meet up about that piece? So that's outside of the huddle, right? Because this is the thing, how do we teach time blocking? We demonstrate it. So this means, right, hard beginning, hard end. And if someone has something besides these pieces that we talked about to share, what you're going to do is you're just going to say, you know what, let's go ahead and let's schedule a time for this. Let's plan on X. Let's make sure we get the appropriate people there, whatever, if there's more people, but don't bust that time block, or else you're teaching them that it's okay. And then time blocking is ineffective, right? So now in addition, so while we're talking about meetings, let's talk about this. So in addition to the huddle, you're going to have, good rule of thumb is 2 meetings a week. What does that look like? If you've taken the Perfect Real Estate Assistant, you can get the information in there. It's also an example of this is in the open source for those of you that coach with me. But it looks something like this. Maybe you have a meeting on Mondays and Wednesdays. Now, these are 30-minute meetings, never to exceed 45, right? The goal is to share the wins and challenges. Each department reports and give a brief update. So an example might look like, who has a win to share, right? Welcome. Who has a win to share? Maybe there's the housekeeping updates. Hey, this changed, or that type of thing changed. Any announcements? Then a report from the listing manager, a report from the sales manager, a report if there's a short sales manager, right? And then a report from the escrow or closing manager. Now, some of these, if you'll notice, right, the listing manager, maybe you, the agent, right? Or you may have that report from your admin, right? And then a sales tip of the week. So what's the script? Or maybe you're going to discuss like different personality styles or referral reminders, et cetera, right? So a sales tip of the week. And then once a month, book reports from each person. So, what are the books you're reading? What are the reporting? And then maybe you have once a month a gold medal service award. Now, this is for the person that's did something extraordinary for our clients, our team, or the system, right? So that's that's what that looks like, right? When we talk about what's a weekly agenda. Now, something that you might be thinking about, and then one of your weekly meetings once a month, it's going to be your monthly meeting. Now, in this monthly meeting, this is where we set goals for each area, and we've got the goal set and we're monitoring our progress, right? So if we don't meet that sales goal, we look back on the activity of that month to determine why we were unsuccessful and what are we going to make adjustments to. When we meet or exceed their sales goals, we're going to reflect back on the previous month's production and see if we should increase those efforts to achieve even greater success, right? And then the assistant is the number tracker on the team. Again, an example of that meeting you can find in the open source if you coach with me, and it's also in the Perfect Real Estate Assistant course with Monica Reynolds. So if you have not attended that course, you want to, if you have, go back and review your information, make sure that we're pulling those out and we're utilizing that. Now you may go, well, what about when we're training this or we're creating our marketing piece, things like that? Well, that you may have a separate meeting for anybody that needs to be involved in that, because that may be a training, it may be a meeting, it may be something that you can pull into your weekly, but you now have like an agenda, right? There's some other pieces. October is a great time to have an off-site business meeting with the entire team to create goals and strategies and that type of a thing for the next year. This would also be the time where your admin would start helping, like, what's the budget for next year? That way, when we're having those weekly meetings, we can kind of see where we are and make any pivots. And then the cool part is if you have that meeting in October, then each month of that monthly, right, you're going to pull it back out and go, where are we at? What adjustments? Okay, based on this, where do we need to be? What adjustments? Okay, and then you keep that moving forward. Another mid-year retreat, which that's a couple of hours to a half a day. Now that information on how to do that, Monica did an amazing how-to tutorial on that. She did a group call for those in my MAPS coaching program. That is in open source. So you can go back and you can look in, because she's got a great layout for that. So I trust that this helps on a little bit of time blocking. What does that daily huddle look like? And what about your meetings? Now, there are some additional meetings that like your admin and agent's going to do together. We look at finances and budgeting, that type of thing. I'll do a separate piece on that. So I trust this helps you guys. If you need anything else, let me know. Have a great one. Bye.